Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think so. Looks like everything is green lit. Thank you, of course, for joining another Flash Hour. This week, we're going to be getting into a few different things. One thing in particular, I'm going to keep to myself at the moment, but lots going on. We've got a builder API. We've got backend improvements that are just making the platform lightning fast, continuous improvement on mobile as well as desktop, and many other things to get into. If you've never been to a Flash Hour before, we appreciate you joining in, of course. Um, Discord, another place to really join in and like be a part of the community here at Flash Trade is Discord. We've got a really great Discord community of, bunch of kind of OGs that have been around for a long time, can answer a lot of your questions, as well as a trading channel that is pretty active as well from some OGs that have been in there for a long time. But how Flash Hour works is we kind of introduce the co-founders, of course, then we get into State of the Trenches. State of the Trenches is simply to allow everybody to funnel in. We go over the Solana ecosystem as well as the broader context of Flash Trade and just trading and different things happening in the ecosystem that we think you should be aware of. Then we move into kind of like a Flash overview. A lot of times it'll be an overview or something in particular that we really want to point out and bring shed light on. Then we get into what we got done this week, Anas's favorite portion, and what's coming, which is always my favorite portion. Without further ado, going to set the stage here, bring in Anas and Zahib. Guys, how you doing?
Yep, very good, and monitoring all the situations every second.
Indeed.
Max, I think you are on mute.
Oh,
You just went on mute. Yeah.
oops, accidentally hit the button. One thing, if you do want to also monitor things at all times, is fstats.io. It's a
Yes.
new location for all things analytical Flash trade. If you're into that, it's a great spot to go dive deep and monitor the situation. But without further ado here, we have got Anas, of course, co-founder, lead here. Zahib, he is the kind of, what is he today, actually? What did we put as your...
Real-time engineer.
All right. Well, our lead engineer, lead architect, and all-around guru. All right, so at your services. Let's see. State of the trenches. I'm sure everybody's kind of noticed by now, but crude oil jumped 30% on open. That was insane. So
And it
yesterday,
retraced everything from that open. Right
Yeah.
now, it's back to where it was at open.
that was
Basically
nuts.
on Friday.
That was violent. That was very, very violent.
I haven't
We're
seen
heading.
anything of this stature to trade like this. Like apart from Bitcoin, I never thought like commodities would trade like shit coins. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's getting spicy out there if you're a trader. It's getting this is the fun stuff. This is where
Yes.
this is what you want to see.
Exactly.
Let's see. Oh wow, it did actually ray trace. Wow, that's insane. It got all the way
Yeah,
up
a lot of
to
people didn't watch it go back actually. Like everyone was just followed the news right up until it pumped, and then
Yeah.
people left, and I was like, oh my god, it's coming back to where it's started from. So
Yeah, wow, that's intense. I'm just looking at the daily and it just went straight up, straight down. All right. Moving into Solana flipped Ethereum and total RWA holders for the first time. So we've been pounding the table, literally. I don't want to do it because I'm going to shake the heck out of the camera, but we've been pounding the table on RWAs. It's super important. It is definitely kind of like the new craze, I guess you could say, like the meme coin phrase or phase, but this is actually real stocks on chain. So the RWA thing is real, and I think this one obviously here to stay. Solana in February recorded 160 or 150 billion stablecoin volume. And I do know a big reason for that is the agentic AI. We are seeing significant activity. I think 80 billion of that was actually this isn't on there, but 80 billion of that was actually done through AI, some sort of AI service that was using the X402 standard or some new way of essentially trading around stable coins. So pretty intense. Bitwise BSOL weekly inflows of 30 million plus. So we still see the inflows happening for Solana. It's not slowing down. We did
It
slow down
was,
for a brief
yeah,
moment.
it was higher 100 million or above 500 million, but now it's 30 million.
Yeah. So I mean the inflows though don't stop. It does look like it is starting to pick up. As long as there's no massive outflows, it's a huge positive. But moving into the next one is Solana. What is it? Oh, the registry. Yes. So agent registry. So basically, the reason I wanted to bring this up during Trenches is, again, we're trying to cover the Solana ecosystem. Agentic AI, all these AI things, this is definitely a growing narrative that is going to really take over. I definitely think at some point, bots or AI bots are going to be the vast majority of the activity or the volume. So I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. Maybe it'll die off a little, but it's going to be coming right back because this is the perfect mechanism for AI agents to be able to interact with each other. Crossmint, which is a TTE wallet provider, is partnering with Western Union to launch USDPT stablecoin. I would stay far away from that, but that's just me. Maybe I'm skeptical, but
See, the interesting thing about the network itself is it's like the cheapest way to handle as many transactions as any service provider want to use, and the uptime is 24 by 7. There is literally no downtime,
yeah,
and there is no intermediary services. So you
mm,
just plug in with an RPC to Solana and that's it. So I think
yep,
that's why a lot of these services will be using Solana for their backend, and I think they won't be talking more about it, and they should basically start using it, is what I would say. No
yeah.
need
I
to
I
make the
I mean,
announcements.
the remittances thing is just gone. This is exactly why. By the way, make no doubt about it. This is the only friggin' reason Western Union is even getting involved because their entire business model is being upended, and they either do something or they completely perish into the sands of history. And that is the only reason that they are doing that. Not trying to throw too much shade, but not a huge fan of Western Union. Let's see. Yeah, stream's looking good. I was double checking the stream. All right. MetaDAO's project
Yeah.
rolled out a Futartio for community direct fundraising. So,
Which
do you have
it's a
more
very
on that?
interesting service. Before people had to go through the MetaDAO's team if they wanted to launch or raise for any new project. Now people can do it permissionlessly if their idea is interesting enough and they put up a valid pitch with a valid deployment. I'm sure people will fund them at a minimum of like 50 to 100K if people
Oh,
are
wow.
open to getting that funding for themselves. But what I saw as of now, like up until this weekend, was like most of those pitches were just sentences. There was no deployment, and I was like, why are there no rough deployments where you can actually test what these guys are trying to sell? So I think that is why the race is not that going at that faster pace as we want it to be. But I think eventually some more interesting teams will come up and they will start using the service,
Yeah.
which is a permissionless fundraising platform.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. The permissionless route is definitely the route to go. It allows the market to decide, which is kind of the entire purpose of a futarchic market.
Yeah.
Soulflare introduces PAL, which is pretty cool. I actually, the narrative privacy layer, I mean, is already bigger than what I expected it to be. A lot of projects are really focusing on privacy. Obviously, probably one of the most notable ones on Solana or Solana native is like Arkham. But to see Soulflare kind of put that so far forward with their, directly embedded into their wallet just really shows how much privacy really matters. And I hope this continues.
I think
Uh,
the one issue with this thing is like the fees is very high. It's like,
ah,
yeah, way too high.
understood.
But eventually, it's great to have such an option on the wallet itself, on the wallet layer. And I think a lot of teams are working to create their own SDKs where any app can basically use this service. Because like I had this conversation internally as well as with some founders, and they were like, why don't you add a privacy layer on perps trading on Flash? And I was like, this is something that is, should be set aside from what's happening on the perps thing. And then, if the wallet creation part, right now we heavily depend on Phantom Privy to basically get the users their own non-custodial wallet. So we will be
Yeah.
using a similar service like that to let people create those wallets which have privacy layer baked into them, and
Yes.
then they can do all their trading on Flash Trade, and we don't have to build or do anything for that. It's just an SDK plugin, and that's it. So I think
Yeah.
Cobra is
It
building
doesn't make
something like
sense
that.
otherwise. It doesn't make sense for the privacy layer to sit on the protocol. Why would
Inside the
that make?
protocol, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that doesn't
it
make
needs to
any
be
sense.
exactly.
It would be much better, just architecturally and like if you look at it from a larger perspective, for the privacy to live like in the wallet. It's a kind of a no brainer actually if you think about it, but the wallet itself is the entry point, so that is where the privacy should live.
Yes.
Meteora AG releases their dynamic terminal with advanced LP tools. Only reason I wanted to do this is because LP Army, shout out to them. They are rabid and extremely good. So I'm glad to see Meteora pushing forward with more advanced tools.
Yeah,
It's
that
pretty
this
cool. Meteora
this
in
company
general is
was,
pretty cool.
yeah, it was very much needed because people had no clue where their liquidity lied
Hmm.
in the ranges they provide, and the amount of liquidity in each of the assets. So it makes it much more clearer to understand where your money is on the price range.
Yep.
It was a much needed tool, and I think there was some third party people making these tools, and they
Yes,
were
I was about to say that.
charging some money for that. So
Yeah. There were third-party tools that LP Army kind of, would bring up and had developed either through the community or somebody else had developed. But like Anas said, those were kind of paid, so barrier to entry, and just Meteora listening to their community and developing a more advanced dashboard is amazing. Sphere Labs ships offloader wallets for programmatic stablecoin to fiat. This is definitely conversion, which is definitely needed. That's
yeah,
something huge. We need to close the barrier between on ramp and off ramp,
off
and
ramp, yeah, yeah,
this is huge because then
very
this
much.
this also kind of plays into the X402 standard, where AI agents will be able to purchase physical products and then ship them to your house and things like that. So again, I think I brought this up like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe not
Yeah.
last week, but the line between we're already seeing it. Both worlds are converging, and there is really not going to be a crypto world at some point. The regular user, the kind of normie, I guess you could say, isn't really going to know the difference. It's going to merge, and they're just going to be able to trade things on chain. I don't know what that's going to look like exactly, but that is definitely the next iteration of the narrative. Let's see. Moving into, do we want to move into that announcement thing, or
Yes,
are we gonna?
for sure, for sure. I think yeah, we should move it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, Max, go ahead.
I was about to say, if you wanted to take it, that's totally fine.
No, no,
But yes,
you-
this is
yeah.
the big announcement. So Seeker Phone and Flash Trade have teamed up. So if you have a Seeker phone, or if you're watching from a Seeker phone right now, your Seeker phone is going to have a little added benefit that will be pretty cool. And we'll be running a campaign all week long, notifying Seeker users that essentially what's going to happen is we're giving away Funded Wallet. If you know about the Funded Wallet feature, you kind of already get the idea. But as you connect your Seeker phone, you'll be prompted to claim your Seeker wallet. This is attached to your Vault wallet. So if you have like 5 wallets on there, you're not getting 5 funded wallets. You'll get one per your phone, and you'll be able to use Flash Trade with our money. So anything you lose, that's on us. But anything you make over the initial funded wallet, you get to keep. So this is the campaign that we've had. We've got about 1,000 entries, so you're going to have to get there quick and claim quickly. But one lucky winner is going to get, I think it's $100 instead of the $10 funded wallet.
Yep.
So trade responsibly and maybe win a little.
Yes.
Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think it's basically an activation for the beloved Seeker users who are actively using their Seeker. And yeah, the first trade on Flash Trade is literally on us with this feature.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we really appreciate everybody who stuck around. The Seeker phone, it took a while for us to get everything right and get everything
God.
perfect. So we appreciate it. And we know that our current community who's been in our Discord, they've been waiting for this for a while, but it is so seamless at this point. Everything that is available on Flash Trade is finally available seamlessly with the Seeker phone. So it works. We've worked out all the kinks. We've spent, belabored, honestly, over the point of making sure Seeker phone is completely integrated into the entire platform.
Yep.
All right, moving into. So first part, we just kind of went over with that announcement, but second part is a huge backend improvements. Did you want to elaborate on that?
Yep. A lot of basically, downstream caching as well as reduction of RPC calls with the new structures that are coming up. We have basically refactored a lot of things on the back end, which was, I think it was ancient, and it was due time for us to upgrade things. And there are more upgrades in the pipeline, and we are like literally shocked by the performance improvements. Although we are still on mainnet, Solana mainnet, but it feels there is basically no distinction between you trading on chain or off chain on any centralized exchanges right now. I can confidently say this thing, and I'm very happy that we are able to, uh, build it and ship it in prod while working on bigger improvements to, for like make the future much bigger for Flash Trade. So yeah, a huge shout out to the team that is basically working day and night with Claude and Codex right now. So, yeah. So yeah, and there is a very interesting upgrade that is also coming up, which is basically the whole structure of Flash Trade would be moved to an API structure, where that would basically mean, like anyone would be able to build a front end on Flash Trade, because there would be no alpha left in the client or doing all that SDK stuff. You'll just have a couple of API endpoints that have their own parameters that you have to send with a signed wallet, and that's it. You are basically trading on Flash Trade fully on chain. And even now, there is an option to trade on Flash's program using the Solana Explorer. Zohib did show me there is an upgrade that has come up where people can directly interact with the program fully on chain using the Solana Explorer that they have shipped. Anza, or I don't know who shipped it, but
Yeah, the recent improvements on Explorer allow you to use the interact tab. So anyone coming from the EVM landscape back in the day, interacting with programs, now yeah, we've got an Explorer which is on feature parity with such stuff. So you don't depend on just the UIs anymore. You have the ideas published. You can go and interact with the program, and I think that that's where a lot of improvements in the RPC layer also like come to fruition right now, because transaction sending services are obsolete now. Like you can reliably send through your normal RPCs. Finally,
Yep.
paying highest priority fee guarantees you get in faster. So a lot of improvements coming on from the Anja's sphere of influence. And I think one other great thing which we just saw today is the announcement of V4.0, Solana V4.0 being live on testnet, or being marked as the first ever public, or this on the testnet point of view, public release of V4, which is quite interesting. I think that's
Is
going
this
to
on the Rust side or is this is on the Web3 side? So,
it's basically the client,
client.
the
Okay.
answer client V4, Solana V4, that we've been waiting for. A lot of discussion in the recent week was around SIMD 296 as well, on-chain order routing. I think a lot of people have been following the recent debacle on prop AMM spoofing and on-chain routing systems. So there's a lot of progress, and everywhere that we've discussed SIMD 296, the idea was to kind of wait for V4 to be launched. So right now we are at V3.1, a lot of feature gate activations coming in. So a lot of great improvements. I think V4.0 is going to be the last thing before we have Alpenglow be fully available. So yeah, fingers crossed. Maybe a month, 2 months in, we do see a lot of good stuff, and 200 millisecond timestamps also going live. And with like all of this stuff, we've made the final missing block that we always had for our MagicBlock migration kind of coming in its place, on our part, as well as the network kind of evolving to support a lot more. So yeah, builder API, or as we refer to it, like you gotta you gotta use it like Binance API. Basically, you have nothing left. We handle all the RPC level intricacies for you. You just
You just
plug it
need
in.
to sign through a wallet, and even we'll make that thing also as easy as possible. So it's basically you handling an account. So when you log in on Binance, you have to provide KYC and all that stuff and wait for your KYC to be approved. But on this side, you'll just need to have a wallet that you own, and then basically sign the transaction through that wallet.
Yeah, it's going to be glorious. The API is the vibe coder's dream. So that'll definitely
Yeah, that's true.
it'll spur some very cool dashboards, I'm sure, as well as some potential mobile apps. Maybe
Yeah.
throw a mobile app out there. Be super
Exactly.
cool.
I think you might be able to do it, Max, yourself. Like just take off like 5 to 6 hours and that's it. I don't know if Apple will, take on your submission, but
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, more than likely that'll bounce. But hey, Android, I mean, come on.
for sure.
Let's see. Yeah, well, I actually just one more thing on the vibe coding thing is the cool part about the on-chain world in the convergence of vibe coding is that a lot of people they didn't quite understand before that if it's an on-chain program, anybody can interact with it. And I think
Yes.
with vibe coding now, if you don't like a specific way XYZ protocol is being, the client itself, as in like what you see on your phone or what you see on your, desktop, you can literally vibe code your own instance of the same
Front end.
exact thing. So
Yes.
it is really cool to think that that's the world that we're moving into, is where there's tons of different front ends that you can use, but everything's using the same on-chain program. Just thought that'd be cool, or something to highlight, and it's something
For
cool to
sure.
think about, the future world where you just tell AI, "Hey, I don't like this dashboard. Create me a new one." and it just goes out and does it. I mean, it's kind of wild, but it is definitely coming true. Equity pool is launching. So, yep, we don't want to release too many details at the moment, not today at least, but we'll be releasing more details soon on the equity pool launch and what that will look like. So stay tuned for that. We are building it out. It's already kind of available for us, I guess, at least. And then
It's under testing right now. Yeah.
it's under testing, and we will be launching that soon. And then FAF liquidity is doubled. Now, why is that? Explain this a
So
little
there
bit.
was this complaint that a lot of people did, when I met them in person, that the liquidity of FAF is very low. It was about something around $200,000 of liquidity, and the liquidity actually dropped much faster because the pair was actually denominated in Sol. It was FAF Sol, and as we all know, Sol actually went down by more than 2x,
More, yeah.
roughly 2.5x, and with that the liquidity also shrunk because it was all against Sol. And then with the futarchic move of the ownership, DAO, we had to convert that Sol into USDC. So there was no way of this Sol to grow, and we had a lot of we didn't know actually this. There was this some of our community members asking about the unclaimed USDC from Beasts and the unclaimed FAF from the Beast holdings, and we found out there was about 200,000 worth of FAF unclaimed and USDC as well. So we have just claimed that and add back to as liquidity. So if you check in terms of the market cap of FAF and the liquidity it has, it is basically what every major token has according to the
Yeah.
market cap ratio.
Yeah, the
So
ratio.
we are very happy that now the liquidity is basically set, and as the token grows, the liquidity will catch up with it. We don't need to add more liquidity into the pool itself, and it will manage its own way as the market cap grows. But very happy to solve this issue. And what really people don't understand is, since we are a fully bootstrap protocol, we never raised. So even the initial liquidity pool was added by us, and even now this is also in some way added by us. So
Yeah.
you don't find many projects which do this sort of deals, basically because a lot of protocols, they loan out their token to market makers so that the
Yeah.
books are thick, or do some sort of very dilutive structures to basically thicken up the books, which widen up when the markets go down. So we didn't
Yep.
go with that route, and here we are with a fully protocol owned liquidity, which is in parity with the market cap.
Yeah, and it's no shade to anybody else. Everybody does it their own way, but this was the way that best aligns with the community and is the least extractive towards Flash Trade users and FAF holders. I mean, at the end of the day, the reality is if you do have an investor, they want return on their investment. So normally how that happens is token go up, token come down. And that's just the kind of way it is. I mean, that's the model that was released and has been followed for, I don't know, the beginning of blockchain at this point, or crypto, I should say. But that's not the way that we wanted to set things up. And I'm super, super grateful and honored to be a part of a team that took the hard route and didn't take the easy route out. All right. And my favorite segment here is what's coming.
Yep. Yeah.
Referral restructure.
There are certain things that we have to restructure. Basically, the page itself, when you visit the token page, it's not very clear where the referrals are and how to create and how to claim the dollars that you earn. So there was this minor UX hiccup, which we have to, which we have almost done basically, and we will be shipping up probably this week or by the end of this week. And then there is also a restructure for people who are are referred by someone and are also holding FAF. And the problem with on-chain stuff is because anyone can spin up any amount of wallets. People can refer themselves and exploit things. So we have to make
Yeah.
sure there are checks in place so that people don't do that stuff. Because when you are doing it with KYC exchanges, that does not happen, because you always know there will be only one wallet, one account per KYC account. You
Yeah.
can't self-refer, at least unless you bring on your family members and do that stuff. But so
That's true.
we have seen people doing that stuff. So we have like that. This is way early when Flash was launched, and we made sure there was nothing of that way, exploitive way, where people can self refer and have a higher discount. So
Yeah.
we are trying to make a new structure where there is a way for people to refer more people, and then there is a limit to how the structure works. So currently in that direction, basically there is restructure on the system of referrals as well as the UX as well.
Yeah, we just want to, it's like a Sybil attack. They're able to essentially, the long and short of it is they open up a referral, they refer themselves, then they use that account to essentially get a larger discount on their trades, because they're getting a little bit back per trade. So that is kind of the unfortunate part of being like a permissionless platform. But we're working on a solution for that. So that'll be the complete restructure. And then since we do have our engineer here, MagicBlock's implementation, I know it's coming along very smoothly.
Yes, indeed. And we've had our stress testing done over the last week as well, because we wanted to be sure about handling a larger capacity compared to mainnet. I think that is one of the major things that we're looking to gain out of the integration, apart from the obvious far lower latency. That's it just allows us to list a lot more markets on the given liquidity pool, and the same transactions could be just finalized and then committed back to mainnet without having to worry about runtime limits. So right now, as you see on pool 3 as well, like the max number of markets or tokens tradable per pool is right now limited to like 10, and at best we could stretch it up to 11 assets supported on a single pool, which again is quite restrictive. If you're talking to have a lot more RWA markets onboarded,
Yeah.
you would need to kind of expand the infrastructure, which sadly on mainnet is going to take a whole lot longer, waiting for SIMDs to merge, and then also kind of having to worry about a lot of changing infrastructure. Magic Blocks allowed us to kind of not just build this faster system, but also a lot more capable in terms of handling a lot more accounts. So yeah, imagine sending in like 300 accounts at once in a single transaction, all having been validated and executed without missing a beat. So that's a reassuring result. The last part for us to validate is capacity. Okay, if once
Mm.
we have your distributed traffic coming in, how well does the latencies hold up, and how the system performs under load? I think that's the last step remaining on our part to have it all done and dusted, and be ready for launch.
Amazing. Yeah, MagicBlock integration is going to be epic. The other thing about MagicBlock is the something an angle that is obviously I just keep going back to it. I think all of us do actually. We secretly are worried / investigating AI agents, but the other interesting part is the fact that it'll be the best execution layer for AI agents. Like it'll be far superior to mainnet for their execution. I don't know. Definitely an angle that with the builder API as well coming could be pretty
True.
freaking cool.
I think one of the highest error percentage we have right now on our prod app is just people trying to interact with the app but don't have soul, right? Like there's so many instances of these happening, right?
Yeah.
It just kind of makes it possible for us to do a truly gasless interaction for trading by enabling, like, let's say, us funding the gas fees initially, and then there's
Gasless.
so many
Who's
ways.
saying gas? What are you from EVM? What's going on
He
here?
is from EVM.
I know.
Oh yeah, okay, network fees, soul, whatever it is. People don't have soul, and they want to trade. Okay, that's
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot more easier for us to facilitate that. So
Yeah.
yeah, all of those things do make up for a great agentic experience as well. So
The
yeah,
Cora implementation was a cool shot at that, but I think it kind of it fell short because of the complexity. But we did see an attempt from Foundation to kind of try to circumvent that. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's still an issue where if you don't have enough soul in your wallet for a transaction, it does fail. So Cora, with all the stuff that you had to set up with like the nodes and your own server and the just really was not a great implementation. But MagicBlock definitely solves that for us, and that is the huge unlock. Is so that entire mess is completely mitigated right off the rip. So
indeed.
gold pool on Carrot Finance. We did go over this last week, but it does look like we are gaining some ground with it. Where are we at right now, Anas?
I think we are dropping it as of now because there are some issues around the system of Carrot Finance not being able to close the loops on the weekend. So all of our real world assets, they are 24/5. They are not 24/7. There is a
Yeah.
huge difference in the implementation because the prices that we derive from come from exchanges such as CME and Nasdaq, and uh, so these exchanges don't, like, they are in the process of getting trading 24/7. So until then we would be working 24/5. So the gold pool on Carrot Finance is sadly not happening right now, but we will be looking into options on how we can serve 24/7 first.
And I think
Yeah.
today we saw a good deal of ideas around how you could converge a 24/5 market into a 24/7 or full-time trading market. We saw what happened with CL or oil on hyperliquid as well, and there's no one-stop shop. Like there's no golden solution to the problem. I think people are iterating over different ideas to solve it, but yeah, there's just like no clear winner just yet, and there are
Just
a
yet.
lot of varying opinions. And I think, yeah, we're also putting in the effort to have a 24/7 market supported. But yeah, unless the underlying market structure kind of moves the needle, it's difficult for us on an aggregating layer to work and get the right price, because the consequences are
Oh,
quite
it's dire. Yeah.
dire for a pool-to-peer Oracle-based protocol like us, where we guarantee zero slippage execution,
Yeah.
and we would have like a lot more risk limiting factors put into place. But yeah, it would take time for us to kind of get to an idea where we can extend beyond, because right now, even for equities, which are going to come up soon, backup is like the 24/5 extended market hours session aggregation that we already do. But
Yep.
for weekends, and especially weekends like these, where you have a lot more going in the global spectrum, we would need a lot more
It's a nice way to
interesting
put it.
ideas to make it plausible for LPs to be protected in the best sense, and
Yes.
traders to continue their activity.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this is lost on a lot of traders that just view Flash Trade as a trade facilitator, right? It's just a dashboard. They come and trade. But from Flash Trade's perspective, we can't just consider the trader. We do have LP pools, so it has to be a fine, delicate balance between those two. We need to make sure that the LPs are protected. That's their capital that they've invested into Flash Trade. So, and then of course that facilitates the traders who come to the platform. So it's a little bit more complicated than just, is this a market that we can offer to traders? We have to think of both of those in tandem. But the 24/7, I can guarantee it is going to be solved, and there will be 20. I mean, it'll be everywhere. Everything will be 24/7. It is going to happen. That is
Yes.
probably the biggest reason that finance right now, fintech or whatever you call it, TradFi, I guess, is really wanting these on-chain equities, and they're pushing so hard for it. And there's all these solutions because that is the way that they genuinely want to go. So we will see it down the road for sure. It's just as that iterative process is in, its stages of kind of blue sky moments for some people, it'll take time, but it will be here. It's just the direction that everything is going.
For sure.
Any further thoughts? The Builder API,
Yep.
once that is fully active, I'll be doing some potentially maybe workshops.
I think you can just do a vibe coding session like we are
Yeah, I was
doing
about to
a
say maybe like a
wallet trading,
vibe code session,
where you can just vibe code a front end.
Yeah, and I'll walk you through the entire process. I'll even try to do, and obviously if we do it live, I can do an interactive thing to where everybody can see how to download Claude, how to get it into your terminal, how to do it directly from the website, how to do all the different things. And of course, if you have any ideas or if you use something specific, like a open source kind of LLM, let me know and I'll try to also help with that. But however, most of these things can get set up really easily on their own. And then I'll walk you through kind of the iterative process of how to build a front end, how to think about it, and then how to prompt it. Because even though AI can one-shot most things, UI still gets messed up a little bit. There are some little hiccups here and there that you have to deal with. So I can walk people through, how I deal with that, and then how I create the prompts that help guide AI in a way where you have a much better chance of one-shotting something, which I've actually gotten pretty good at, especially since dealing with this for quite a while now. I'm a prompt engineer. I'm not a software engineer, as all of us will be at some point. Other than that, it looks like we are coming to an end. Thank you all, of course, for joining Flash Hour. Don't want to hold you up any further. If you missed out on any of Flash Hour, of course, you can rewind. If you want to be a part of the community, please drop into the Discord, say hi, bug me if you like. Don't, the janitor always abides, and ask away any questions that you have. And if you want to delve much deeper into the community, into Flash Trade itself, we have full docs available for you, as well as fstats.io for all the analytics that really anyone would want/need. If there's anything not available, please let us know. We will add it to fstats.io immediately. If docs are not making sense, that's on me. Reach out to me in the Discord. I will refactor or re-explain and try to make it simpler for you all to
I think you have to
understand.
still do it, Max.
What is it?
The token economic section needs a
Yes,
revamp.
the token economic section will be rewritten, and the reason why is because right now it's just kind of a technical jargon, and it's very straightforward. There's no like narrative to it. Understanding why we did it, understanding how we did it, and then the final outcome. Those are all things that really matter along the Flash Trade journey, and that will be coming to the Flash Trade docs here soon. As I rewrite that to kind of explain the mental model of how we got to what we got to. I think that it's a much better approach in the docs as LLMs become also proliferated and scraping the different docs. It'll be able to really deliver a better story instead of just the facts on the ground. So and how we got to where we got to. Any parting thoughts for the community, our fearless leaders?
Nope. I think we have. I'm actually looking forward to basically, test the Magic Blocks implementation of Flash Trade
Me
as
too.
soon as possible, because we have a very very interesting idea of how we want to launch it. Because like you can work intensely on making the tech 1,000x better, but if you don't have the right launch strategy and the right things in place, it won't sell. So my
Doesn't land.
whole it doesn't land. So my whole thought process is on how we make it a very unique launch, where the things that we would be offering should not, like, it won't be possible to do that same thing anywhere else except on Flash. So that is
Yeah.
where my main focus is, while waiting for the devnet to be dropped in my inbox.
Is that on? That's on Zaeb. He's like, son of a.
Absolutely. Let's bring it on. We've been doing all the stress tests and stuff from scripts, but yeah, the UI and interacting with it and seeing the end latencies work out is gonna be the best thing to come out this week.
Yeah, it's
Inshallah.
a crescendo moment. I mean, it's where the paradigm will shift. So very much so looking forward to it. I'll say goodbye to you all and just do the outro. And then got a few other things to get to after this that are very pressing when it comes to equities. So see you guys. Talk to you soon. All right, everybody. Relentless execution. This is what has been performed by Flash Trade for the last 2 years. I cannot stress enough that shiny object syndrome is a very, very tough thing in the crypto space. And I understand that. I have fallen for it many, many times myself. But when you have a team that is so driven that no matter what, through bull and bear market, they are here and they are delivering every single week for our protocol users, for users of Flash Trade, for FAF holders. We have relentless execution. So that's this week's takeaway. If you are building something and you would like to integrate Flash Trade into that project, reach out. We have the Builder API coming. We have an SDK available for you. And, we'd love to hear and see exactly what you are building. Again, if you are doing that, join into our Discord community. Would be more than happy to help you along your journey of relentless execution. And as always, traders, we really appreciate you showing up for Flash Hour. And I will see you in the markets.